The action of the film takes place in Miami. Detectives Mike and Marcus, stopping by a store for some snacks, witness an attempted robbery. However, the old friends, working as a team, successfully neutralize the robber. Then the detectives hurry to Mike's wedding with a physiotherapist named Christine. Marcus is happy for his friend, who is recovering from an injury. Marcus dances and has so much fun that he even has a heart attack. However, the detective survives. Once he comes to, he rushes to the hospital rooftop, rejoicing in the second chance given to him by fate. He leaves all his life fears behind. Meanwhile, a DEA agent and former counterintelligence officer named McGrath is working with a cartel. He forces a criminal banker to transfer $20 million retroactively to the account of the recently deceased captain. 2 weeks later, Marcus is discharged, and Mike takes him home to his wife, children, and grandchildren. Then the detectives learn that their deceased friend, the captain, is being accused of corruption and collaboration with the cartel. The men quickly arrive at the police station. Mike and Marcus are convinced that the captain was framed. They promise his daughter, a federal marshal named Judy, that they will prove it. Mike then heads to the correctional facility where his son Armando, whom he recently learned about, is serving time for the captain's murder. Former cartel hitman Armando, in exchange for a promise of a reduced sentence, reveals that the captain was tracking traitors among the police. Armando saw the main mole cop once and can even recognize him. Meanwhile, McGrath's team wipes the captain's computer data, but his security system sends out a video message. Tracking the phone, the criminals learn that the message was sent to detectives Mike and Marcus. In the video, recorded shortly before his death, the captain recommends contacting a man named Fletcher, the head of a gallery. When the detectives arrive at Fletcher's, they learn that the captain's investigation results were encrypted into one of the art videos. Suddenly, in front of Mike and Marcus, Fletcher is eliminated by mercenaries led by McGrath. A shootout begins inside the building with the artworks. The experienced professionals, Mike and Marcus, manage to fend off the attack, and the criminals attempt to escape in a car. Their pursuit on the highway is unsuccessful because Mike suddenly has a panic attack. Mike and Marcus's boss Rita, along with their colleagues Dorn and Kelly, arrive at the scene. Using the QR code from the art video, the group learns more details about the captain's investigation and decides to retrieve the original of one of the 20-year-old cases. After this, Mike convinces one of the district attorneys, Adam, to transfer Armando, who is being targeted by mercenaries in prison for his knowledge, to Miami. On the day of the prisoner's transport, McGrath and his men sneak into the helicopter in masks. Before eliminating the pilot, they force him to record a message accusing Mike and Marcus of illegally freeing Armando. Marcus senses something is wrong and notices the criminal actions. A confrontation begins inside the transport helicopter. During the struggle, McGrath manages to parachute out. The rapidly falling helicopter is barely landed on the water's surface by Marcus and the now freed Armando. Regaining their composure, the detectives and Armando set off on their journey. Meanwhile, Mike and Marcus are declared wanted. McGrath even announces a $5 million bounty for their capture to the local gangs. The next day, the detectives find a residential house and try to steal clothes, but they are noticed. Armando saves the situation by quietly starting and stealing a car. The men promise the owners to return everything later. The group then arrives at a club owned by an acquaintance, asking for weapons. However, she betrays them, hoping to get the $5 million. As they attempt to take Mike, Marcus, and Armando away, other bounty hunters attack her people. This allows the detectives to break free. The men then arrive at Dorn and Kelly's house. Thanks to the captain's investigation, the group narrows down the suspects, among whom Armando eventually recognizes McGrath. Mike informs Rita about everything. Then Dorn notices on the surveillance cameras that bandits are approaching Marcus's house. The detective manages to call his son-in-law Reggie and warn him of the danger. After that, Reggie, a professional soldier, successfully fends off the attackers and saves the entire family in front of his proud father-in-law. Meanwhile, Mike urgently calls Christine, who is being visited by Judy's daughter, Callie. But the bandits capture them. McGrath, using Christine's phone, demands that Mike hand over Armando and the captain's evidence. Trusting Rita, Mike and Marcus realize that her boyfriend Adam is the mole. They tell Rita everything. The woman tries to read Adam's messages, but he attacks her. Dorn and Kelly arrive at her apartment just in time to save the policewoman. Using technology to replicate Adam's voice, the detectives then call McGrath and arrange a meeting with him at an old amusement park. Using Adam's voice, they suggest taking the hostages to Cuba. The next day, part of the police group arrives at the park on a float plane. Armando, who swims up to the pier, is spotted by one of the bandits. A shootout begins. Dorn, controlling a drone, skillfully eliminates the bandit sniper. Then Rita, Kelly, and Dorn leave their van and join the fight. Rita even manages to hit the float plane that Adam tries to escape in amidst the chaos. Despite being outnumbered by the criminals, the experienced Mike and Marcus manage to reach McGrath, who is using Christine as a shield. However, McGrath uses a grenade and escapes from the park. Meanwhile, the float plane crashes into the old amusement park building. Simultaneously, Armando, almost sacrificing himself, frees and saves Callie. Rita then notices a huge crocodile in the water and eliminates Adam. Meanwhile, the injured Marcus cannot continue the pursuit. McGrath spots him and takes him hostage. In a stressful situation, Mike finds a solution. He shoots Marcus in the bulletproof vest and then swiftly eliminates McGrath. Upon Judy's arrival, her daughter Callie tells her that Armando saved her. Then, after saying goodbye to his father, the injured Armando sails away on a boat. All charges against the captain, Mike, and Marcus are dropped. At the end of the film, the recovering Mike and Marcus are barbecuing in the countryside with their family. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss out on new videos. Thanks for watching.